Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm here to give you guys my Fear the Walking Dead Season 4, Episode 12 review. And this episode is called Week. And this episode came out on September 2nd, 2018. And I'm getting very excited because after this review, I'll only have 4 more episodes left to watch of Fear the Walking Dead, and then I'll finally be caught up. I only have 2 days left, though, because after 2 days, it's going to be removed from the website. Well, it's really 3, but I'm going to go to bed after I do this review. So, yeah. So, I just want to get right into this review. I thought this episode was alright. Um, it really wasn't anything special, though. You probably could have skipped this episode and been fine, but that's just me. So, pretty much this episode was structured kind of back to the old format of Fear the Walking Dead series and any zombie apocalyptic series, where it had two storylines going on at the same time. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk about, one of them first and then the other one, so that way I'm not going scene by scene because that makes the video really sloppy, and I really don't want to do it that way. So let's just get right into this video. Um, the episode started off um, with showing everything that's been going on with June and Althea since they've been separated from the group, because obviously we really hadn't seen too much of them. And June is trying to radio to John, but the walkie-talkie doesn't have any signal, and pretty much it just kind of shows June and Althea um, adjusting to life. Um, you know, outside the SWAT truck, and they're starting to run low on fuels and supplies. And um, Althea goes to get some and stuff. They sleep in there. They find some food. They um, kill the Wanderers. I'm going to call them Wanderers since June is there. Um, and um, pretty much what happens is she's been trying to radio in. She's also been watching um, John's interview a ton of times, and then what ends up happening is, um, what ends up happening, she overhears somebody in the radio, and and Jude tries to radio into this person, and then it cuts to the theme, to like the logo, um, and June and Althea want to, June wants to go see if she could find better reception to radio into this person. We find out that June's pretty much killed, um, the battery off of Althea's camera because she watched John's interview so many times. Um, and Althea is starting to get sick. She wasn't bit or anything, but she's starting to get sick. She has some sort of sickness. Um, but Althea, I think, lies at first and says that she just has low blood sugar from not eating and drinking. So they end up walking out, and they end up taking a truck. They drive so that way they can find a better signal. And as this has been happening, um, Morgan has been trying to reach. I'm only saying this because this ties into the story. Morgan has been trying to reach um, just anybody, see if they can find people. And um, Sarah walks over to him and wonders if this is going to work. And Morgan pretty much references the events that took place in seasons 1 and 2 when Rick was doing the same thing, trying to reach Morgan, and it didn't really work for him. Obviously, you could say it didn't really work for them because Morgan pretty much went insane. So that's probably why you could say it didn't really work for them. Um, and they're about to move on. Morgan's trying to tell people where they are, and Morgan overhears June um, come into the in the radio, but obviously he doesn't know it's June, so he tries to go to himself to see if he can get a better signal. And who does as this has been happening, the mystery whooping that we saw on at the end of the last episode ended up listening to where June and Althea are, and um, we find out that the I'm just gonna say infected just because I don't know what she calls them. um, that she's been keeping around is named Purvis. I don't know if that's how you say that, but that's how I'm going to say that name because I'm never going to say it after this episode ever again. And says that Purvis gets to do some playing, and Morgan runs into her, digging through one of the boxes. And I thought this was kind of cool because um, Morgan didn't necessarily know who this was, but obviously they've had some type of interaction with each other before. And she's digging through one of the boxes, and Morgan's telling him that he can, take from the box. And she says that the people who only take for this box are weak. And Morgan doesn't think so because the box did him a lot of good, and he doesn't find himself as weak, and he walks away. And then she says, maybe the person isn't completely weak. But I just kind of like this because there was this little altercation that they had that just kind of showed that they, um, that they're going to end up meeting again. So I kind of like that. And obviously they'll meet in a different light. Um, and then we find out that so June's feeling Althea for more, and we find out that she's really starting to get sick. But then her SWAT truck gets stolen, so Althea gets into gets into a car chase with it and tries to go after it. But then eventually, there was just a ton of debris on the road, and it ends up popping the tire, and she's unable to get to it. And Althea wants to get to it, but um, June prevents her from doing that because she's too sick. So June tries to pump the tire back up because it ended up getting popped, and she wants Althea to keep talking to her, and she tries to talk about Althea's life, but Althea really won't say anything about it, and Althea overhears her guns being shot, and she wants June to go get it, and June's worried about going to get it because earlier in the episode she radioed her into John talking about how she was afraid of the person that she once was that would always leave people and just kill people, so she didn't want to be that person again, and Althea tells her to go get it because she can reach it on foot, and she says that there's medicine that will make her feel better in her SWAT truck. So this causes June this leaves June no choice to go get it. So she goes with the gun to go get the SWAT truck, but then she gets taken hostage by somebody with the gun, and he forces her to drop the gun and put her hands over her head. And um, this guy really doesn't care what happens to June. Um, June's trying to talk him out of killing her, but um, the guy says that he knows that all June wants is to get back and help her sick friend. He doesn't care about. She doesn't really care about him. Um, she says that all he is to her is a guy holding a gun at her, and if they came together, that they would just throw him to the wolves, pretty much. In this case, the zombies, because they're zombies. But you get what I'm saying. So Althea attacks him. She holds him at gunpoint and goes into the SWAT truck to get the medicine. And when she doesn't find it, she thinks that he stole it. So she tries to force him to tell her where it is, and he doesn't know. And we also find out that the SWAT truck ran out of gas. So she forces the guy to leave, um, and the guy obviously leaves. And then um, she's trying to radio into Althea. Althea doesn't answer at first because she was pumping the tire up, and then there was one of the wanderers was stuck in like mud, and it ends up pulling itself out and attacks um, Althea. She tries to stab it, but she's just so sick that it didn't really do much to her. So then eventually she just crushes it with the car, and then Althea responds saying there really wasn't any medicine. She just wanted her to get the SWAT truck. And obviously, June's pissed about this because pretty much she almost reverted back to her old ways and almost killed somebody for medicine that wasn't even there to begin with. And Althea said that she didn't do it, and she wants this stuff because it's interviews of people that she knew, of people that she cared about. And June says that there's really nothing you can do about it because these people are already dead. And he just talks about how he did something for Alicia because she saw her mom in this stuff. So, luckily, too, June found medicine in the bus where the SWAT truck was at. And then Morgan ends up going up to a water tower or gas tower, I don't know what it was, and radios into and tries to get um, to see if he can get anybody to respond. And June and Theo overhear him, and Morgan gives his location, but they can't respond because the battery dies. And June wants to leave right now, just leave the SWAT truck, but Althea doesn't want to because she has all the stuff in there. And I actually got to say, I thought that was pretty cold for Althea to lie that it was in there. It kind of made her an unlikable character. I get she wants all this stuff because she has all those videotapes, but I still thought that made her a very unlikable character. So Althea just wants to abandon them because she doesn't want to abandon her SWAT truck. So June goes to drive away, but Althea shoots her gun up in the air to get her attention because she doesn't have a walkie-talkie, and they end up leaving with them, well, with her, and then they get to the um, to Morgan's location when Morgan and stuff are about to leave, and they're happy to see each other. Um, they find out what this is, and June wants to be a person and help somebody, so she tries to radio in to the guy that she stole the SWAT truck, and um, tells him to meet him on mile 27, and we find out that this guy's name is Quinn. I don't exactly um, remember his full name, um, but whatever. And I also forgot to mention that the mystery woman replaced the one of the when Morgan was talking about replaced one of the boxes with um, of clean water with dirty water, which I thought was kind of nice. Um, yeah, so Quinn, um, she tells him to meet them at mile 27, and Morgan and Althea have a talk, and Morgan offers again for Althea to come back with him to Alexandria, and Althea accepts. I like that scene. Althea pretty much accepts by saying that when I'm with someone, I never leave them. And then Quinn makes his way to mile 27, but we're supposed to be very confused because he's at mile 27, but the rest of the group isn't there. So what ends up happening is we find out that it really wasn't mile 27, it was fake. Um, and the mystery woman uses Purvis to attack Quinn and obviously kill him because if you get attacked by a zombie, you're going to die. Um, and the mystery woman leaves Purvis saying that you've done your job, and pretty much leaves Purvis to do his own thing, and pretty much kidnaps reanimated Quinn, and now reanimated Quinn is gonna be with her now, and she wrote on his face "People Weak," which obviously fit the title of the episode, and that pretty much was the end of the episode, and I did like the ending. I like the stuff that went on with June and Althea and the stuff that went on with Morgan. But this episode wasn't like a good episode. I thought it was an alright episode. It was just kind of a filler episode to kind of keep the storyline going. But I still thought it was an alright episode. If I had to rate this episode, I'm going to give it just a solid C. I thought it was okay. Really nothing special, but I thought it was an okay episode. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of this review. As for what other people thought of this episode, it got a mixed bag. It got a 6.8 out of 10 review in IMDb. Some people liked it. People didn't like it. People were mixed about it. And then for Rotten Tomatoes, people thought about the same thing. It got mixed reactions. It got a 71% approval rating. It got 7 reviews and 5 Rotten reviews. So it got kind of a mixed bag. And that's pretty much the end of this review. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please make sure you guys like, comment, and share this video so people will watch it. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel for more content and click on the bell. So that way every time I upload a video, you guys get the notifications for it. Make sure you guys do the same thing for my CM Brothers YouTube channel. Just uploaded a video yesterday since it's a little bit after midnight. That's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.